Yes guys, welcome to another color grading tutorial. My name is David. So this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put a 5-minute counter somewhere around this area, and you can watch for that 5 minutes. If you don't like the tutorial after 5 minutes, you can click off, but guess what, I'm sure you're gonna love it. So let's get straight right to it. So I'm bringing in this file to the Canva, and this is what we are going to be working with. As you can see, it's a beautiful looking lady with the red umbrella. Okay, so that's what we are going to be working with, and we are going to get straight right to it. So I just want to go through the tape, and now you can see it. So now the first thing I would do is to go to adjustments. Okay, for this we're gonna deal with the curves first, then we can go over to basics and other colors. So I'm gonna go to curves, and if you've not watched my last video, make sure you watch it after this video, but watch this video first. So there are 5 or 6 sides I want you to understand. This part at the top is the white, this is the black, then we have the shadow, mid-tone, and highlight. This is the highlight, so we want to get a curve there, and we want to get a curve on the shadow. Okay, usually you also see a curve here, but I just want to work with those 2 curves. So what I'm going to do is to shift this curve, but before then we'll click on this dot you see here. These dots are very important, so you click on that. Color oscillate, you click on show. What are we looking for under this particular color oscillate? Okay, so what we are looking for, as you can see, you see this bottom line, this one that says 0. We don't want this graph with the color and wave overlapping that. We want it somewhere here, and for the top part we also want it around here. So that will determine the exposure and giving you a good color correction. So let's make that happen. Okay, so we have it. So we're just going to adjust the highlight a bit, and as you can see, as we did that, we increased it to this part, and you can see the colors have started to come to life. So we're going to do that for shadow also, and you're going to watch this reduce to about this part, and we don't want to overdo it. Okay, so let's just make that okay like so. If you want to reduce the black, as I like this curve. Okay, this is the S curve, you always hear it when it comes to color grading. If you want to get white out of the image, you can reduce this, and you can see we have white out of the image, but for me I don't want to totally get it out, but I want to have that cinematic look. For black too, you can raise this to get black out of the image, but I'll just do that a little. Okay, so that's the first step. Now we move over to basics, and this is where most of the full magic comes to life. So we are just going to scroll down. Remember, this is a color grading tutorial with Canva PC, and now we want to start with this. Okay, so we have temperature, tint, and saturation. So what temperature does is to give it the feel, and what saturation does is to pop the colors. So let's go with saturation first. You see, once we increase saturation, we start to get colors on the red umbrella and a bluish purple gown she's wearing with the grass you can see and the skies. So let's do that and see. Okay, as you can see, we're bringing it to life now, and you can see that if you want it to pop well, that is it there. You see I took the saturation all the way up. Okay, if you don't want it, if you don't feel that's what you want for your own kind of videos, then you can reduce it, but for me I want it all the way up because I want that blue to pop and I want the umbrella to pop. The tint all depends on you. You can make it feel more greenish like that, so it gives you that cinematic look. Okay, or you can make it purple and you can see what it does, but for me I'll just see with the greenish to give it that cinematic look, and I think I'm okay there. You can mess around also with the temperature and just move that. Okay, so we have that perfect cinematic look. So you see how we brought this to life so quickly, fast, and you can decide if that's where you want to stop. You are good with the image, then you can stop there. But what I like to do is to go over to the HSL and make some adjustment. I might want the umbrella to pop more. Okay, then I would increase that. You see the umbrella, you'll watch the umbrella. Let me go back to 0, and you see the umbrella is just there. But then if you reduce it, you take the color out of the umbrella, as you've seen right now. But then if you top it up, take it up, see we brought out that of the umbrella. I don't see orange, I see more of green, so let's work on green. Green is gonna impact the grass we see here. So if we do tint, you see we take it out a bit, but if we do the green saturation, it pops the color more. Okay, so I think that's a good one there. Then another very prominent color is the blue, so we can go to the blue, you can do tint, and you see it just takes a little out of it, or you increase, and you can see the blue is more vibrant now. So you can see we've done just that, and we've brought the color to life. So we are back in basic from the HSL tab, back to basic, and now let's scroll down. Remember, if you want to protect the skin tone, this is something I've not talked about in my previous video. Yes, I do skip it. It's normal when you make tutorials like this, you can skip that. But if you want to make your skin tone protected, as you can see, turn on to protect to make skin tones more natural. So I'm going to turn that up. Yes, she's far from us, but we won't see our skin tone that much, but it's good to leave that up. It helps a lot. So now we have that. You can mess with the exposure, you can do all those things, but as you can see, I'm fine. I'm totally fine with that. I'm not going to mess with the exposure. I like the way it's looking, I like what I see, I like everything about this. Messing with the exposure a little can just throw things overboard. Okay, so you can see it gives you that dark feeling. Okay, you can make it, you see it's out, it's overexposed. We don't want that at all. We just want it to sit fine. Okay, so we can just reduce it a bit. Okay, like so, to just give it that cinematic darker mood. Or if you want contrast, the same thing, you can reduce contrast, you can increase contrast. It's up to you what you want to do. Okay, it's totally up to you. These are just things you can mess with after you've done the major ones, which I just showed you. See, reducing highlights and all. Okay, you can reduce that. So this just keeps this color graph below. Okay, if I increase it, it takes it out, which is not good. I just want to keep it below, so like so. I think I'm okay with 3, so I'll just take it down a bit. Right, like that. Shadows, the same thing, you can just bring in some more shadows. Okay, so I'm okay with the shadows like that. All right, so now you see we have it. I can leave that at 3 also. I don't think I want to touch any other thing. I've done that in the video. You can sharpen the video if you want. I don't think I want to do that. As you can see, sharpening the video, see what it makes it do. So without sharpening, you can see the grass is kind of dim, dull, so you can just sharpen that a bit. Okay, and you see you have the video more like that. So if we play it, this is the way it looks. Okay, so that's just it. If you want it sharpened that much, but I'll just leave it at 3 should be fine. Particles or grain, I don't want much of that, so I'll just leave that at 0. I don't want it. Fade, I don't want fade either. Fade is good, but I want it to pop, I want it vibrant, so I'll just leave fade down 0. And for the other circle, this is, like I said, it's up to you if you want to add vignette to your image. If you add vignette, just put the focus on the lady like so. It's totally up to you what you want to do. You can make it that way, 3 if you're okay with that, and then we can go over and check it out for ourselves by just doing simple checks. So now we went from this to this, from this to this. Cinematic color 100%.